Thank you so much for joining us. And first of all, let me say how sorry I am for the family going through this horrible ordeal. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Marnie. It's good to be here.
I'd like to begin with the investigation and the status. Police have said they know more than what they are telling us in the media. Are they sharing anything new with the family that you can tell us?
Yeah, honestly, that's one of the more kind of frustrating things, too, is that we don't get as much as we would like as well. There's an ongoing investigation, so that's what they keep telling us. So kind of what you're hearing is kind of what we are hearing as well. We sometimes hear it a little bit before the news comes out, but honestly, like this morning, we found out a few things just like kind of right beforehand or right as like a press conference was happening as well. So we don't have a super amount of information besides what's already out there.
Wow, so many questions. So what's the family saying about Brian and his parents and the fact that they're not cooperating or talking to police?
Well, yeah, I can give you my opinion on it.
Go ahead.
I think it is very, it doesn't match up to the amount of work that we have been putting in, to what law enforcement has been putting into this case, to what little strangers around the entire nation are putting into this case. It's not matching up. It doesn't make sense, and it's unfair to say that you can sit in the background when basically the entire nation is trying to figure this out. If you could just come forward and say where she is, where the last time you saw her, any of that is so integral into finding her. And to say that you're not going to help is like wildly, I mean, it just doesn't make any sense.
Right. So, Flora, tell me about their relationship between Gabby and Brian. Any red flags, any indication that they had trouble in the past?
So, they've come to visit me. I live in Charleston, South Carolina, and they've come to visit me up from Florida many times. They came up and visited me on their way up to New York. I will say that I honestly didn't see any red flags. They seemed like a really fun couple. They really liked the same things. They enjoyed each other's time. They were super excited about this trip. I mean, it was like their dream trip. I was actually jealous. Their itinerary sounded amazing. They redid this van together. That's why it's hard to wrap your head around why all of a sudden now there's this shift where a person that you saw loving your family member and your loved one now will not help at all.
Let's focus on Gabby for a minute, Flora. This police report caught our attention today, indicates that Gabby struggles with anxiety in the report. What can you share with us about her mental state before this trip and during it?
Sure. I personally have never seen Gabby struggling with anything. I wasn't, I didn't raise her. I wasn't there every day with her also. So I'm not privy to what she may have been going through and not revealing. But honestly, I didn't see anything. Another thing, too, is that I know that there was a police report that was out today. Honestly, I've only read the police report. I don't know much else. And
well, let me add something here, and maybe you can respond. That police report also said Brian told officers that their travels together over the last several months had created emotional strain between also the couple and increased arguments over the last few months. At any point in this trip, did Gabby reach out to you as her godmother, her parents, her step-parents, and say, I'm in trouble, I need help, I don't feel safe?
Not to me. She did not. And I don't know if she reached out to anyone else and said those words.
How well does Gabby's parents know Brian?
Very well, I would say that he grew up here on Long Island as well. They knew each other from high school. They moved down to Florida together. They've traveled a bunch too. Like they've taken other different family members on camping trips. They love camping, so they've done a lot of traveling together. And that's the.
Yeah. Flora, let me ask you. I mean, Gabby's 22 years old. She's young in most of our minds, but she is an adult. Has she ever disappeared before? Can you hear me, Flora?
So sorry. Yeah.
That's okay. I was just saying, for most of us, Gabby's 22. That's young. But for others, she's an adult. Has she ever disappeared before or indicated that she needed some space, some time to herself?
No. Honestly, she's never really said, and this is the thing, she is not a person to go off on her own.
Okay.
She's very good about keeping in contact. She's very good about FaceTiming, uploading photos, letting people know where she is. So it is very off character right now for her to just be out and about.
Florida, before I let you go, I know you know Gabby better than most. You've watched her grow up. How worried are you right now that something bad has happened?
I mean, it's really scary. You have to really think about this timeline, you know? To find out that the van had returned to Florida on September 1st, it's only elementary math to do that. It was sitting there for 11 days before anything was reported missing or there was any chatter anywhere. So it's kind of mind-blowing, and it's like your senses are on high alert.
Right.
You don't really sleep. You don't really eat that much. You kind of just really want answers.
Wow.
And the answers can be out there, and they're sitting with someone right now. So
it is a puzzle. We're on it. I can promise you that. Please give our best to Gabby's mom and the rest of the family. I know the family is involved in the search. And as we learn more, we'll share it with our audience at home. And please come back and give us any updates that you have.